guys, welcome to Brian's Man Cave. Today I'm going to be talking about an amazing retro game, and it's one of my favorite games on the Atari 2600, and that is KEYSTONE KAPERS. Obviously based on the Keystone Cops of the days of yore. It's actually a real interesting game. I mean, there's a lot going on. It was one of the games that I think it was the first game that I bought with my Atari, my Atari Junior. And it was one of the reasons why I wanted the Atari, actually. I remember seeing them on the shelf. This was when they re-released the Atari as the Atari Junior, and they were, cheap and on the shelf and everywhere. And this was the one game that kind of caught my eye, and I saw it. I actually saw the box. I didn't even know what the game really looked like, because at the time, we didn't have the internet like we have it today. It wasn't like I could just go and Google it. But I mean, the box looked awesome, right? It had this artwork on there and stuff, and I thought that game looks cool. That's a reason why I want to buy an Atari, because I still had other systems at the time, and so I ended up buying the Atari and this at the same time, and I thought this was a really great game. I mean, I played it all the time, and unfortunately, it was part of that stock of games that got lost. I probably mentioned this before. I had a box of games that were all like boxed games. So I had anything that I bought off the shelf. And during one of my moves, I think it fell off the truck or something on the highway, because the box is gone. And I was really kind of annoyed about that, because it had this game in there. I had it in box and all that stuff. I had a whole bunch of ColecoVision games in box. And all of them gone. And I was so upset about it. But so I slowly started buying these things back. So, I have this one now. So I'm going to play KEYSTONE KAPERS and just run through it. Okay, let's play some KEYSTONE KAPERS on the Atari 2600. So usually I just, doesn't really have much of a title screen. This is the title screen. Activision. A lot of the times they do that. Copyright 83. Seemed to be the 1 year where everything just kind of went to crap, but whatever. Lots of great games still came out. So just hit the reset button. So ideally, you're just running through this department store without getting hit by anything. And there's lots of obstacles, but first level, obviously there's not. You're just kind of running through the empty hallways. Those are supposed to be counters or something, and then you got the elevator. The elevator's like smack dab in the middle of this huge department store. And you're just running up and down up the escalator. Kind of a Donkey Kong style game in a sense, where you're going from one platform to the next platform with the ladders. Only your target is moving. He's running away from you. So now the obstacles are actually going to get much more tougher as you pass each round. Got that bouncing ball that gets annoying. I don't know, I guess he's picking up luggage or something, or I guess the robber is like dropping stuff as he's running. Because you pick up these things and you get extra points. Now the thing about the elevator, there's a sack of money. The thing about the elevator is I never really usually bother with it. I think in the later levels maybe it might make sense to use it. That's a jewelry counter. You always have to jump over the jewelry counter. Even though it doesn't really look like that, it kind of looks like a radio. Like those old radios from back in the day. When before TV, when people would have radios hooked up. And that would be their main source of entertainment. Looks like one of those things. So apparently it's a radio, or a jewelry counter. And so we got shopping carts now that are coming at me. Everything just seems to be going wild in this place, the shopping carts are just kind of continuously flying by like that. Almost as if the shoppers are throwing things at you. But there is no shoppers. There's another odd thing about this. Maybe this is happening at nighttime. The crook is trying to get away. He's trying to rob the store. Kind of like Bad Santa. the movie Bad Santa with, what's his name? Yep. Ah, there's the, airplanes now, toy airplanes. Oh, Billy Bob Thornton, that's his name. I knew I was going to think of it. Where he's in the department store as a Santa Claus, and then when it's closed, he goes and steals from the safe. Sort of a, this could be a similar idea. The crook's in there at nighttime, trying to steal all the jewelry, the money. Of course, they dress him up like a crook, like he just kind of got out of jail. You can see the obstacles are becoming more intense now. Now the ball's bouncing really high, you have to kind of duck under it. And here's where it just gets to learning how to maneuver against these obstacles and when they're going to appear on the screen again. So you notice I had to duck twice on that one. And, for that. And even with the shopping carts, when it starts getting faster, you start getting, the shopping cart coming at you twice in a row instead of just once, like this. Same with the airplanes. Things just start to get nutty. I used to have a lot of fun playing this game. I mean, this was one of the more advanced games that I had when I first had my Atari. The one that the Atari 2600 Junior that I bought when they came back on the market, and I guess that was the early 90s, was it? They kind of came back as an alternative to things like Nintendo and Sega that were reigning at the time. They brought the Atari back as kind of like your cheap gaming console. I think like brand new, the Atari was only like $45 or something like that. Something crazy, and games were really cheap. They were like 15 to 20 versus like a Nintendo system, which was around, 100 something usually. I can't remember if the SNES was out at the time. And the games were a lot more expensive. But, I mean, look at the difference in games, right? But this, I always felt, was quite advanced for what it is. I mean, there's a lot more going on in this game than a lot of other Atari 2600 games. And the graphics are quite, they're done quite well. And challenges there. I mean, it's not like one of those really, really hard games, but it increases gradually. So you can at least get a few levels up. You can see there's my men. I got 3. Those police hats. Bobby hats, or whatever he is. He's obviously one of those bobbies from, Europe. England. Now everything's going crazy. So, you can see the shopping cart is starting to go like 1, 2. So you need at least 2 jumps to get over that shopping cart. If you forget, you're going to get clocked by it. I think by the next level, the airplane will be going pretty fast too. And now you notice too, there's 2 jewelry counters you have to jump over. You're kind of doing a lot of hurdling in this game. You're hurdling over things. A lot of jumping and ducking, and you gotta remember the crook's getting away, so you can't take your time. You gotta go. I mean, you got that counter going down too, right? That's at the top there, right beside my 3 lives. That counter is going down, and then when that counter goes to 0, you lose. So, and as you hit things, I don't think I've hit anything yet, but if you hit an obstacle, it cuts time off your. Like, it drains some time away. So not only is the crook getting away, but your timer is going down. So you got 2 things to do. Although the one thing that would be handy about this game is if there was like a level counter, because, a lot of these games, they didn't do that. They didn't actually put in a a number or a digit on the screen to tell you how many laps you've done or how far you've gone. You kind of have to remember. Like, you have to count as you go along, but I would probably just lose count after a while because you're kind of concentrating on the game. You're focusing on the game. And so to actually, like, try and remember, oh, I'm on level 6 now. Oops. Jumped too early. And it gets critical, the amount of times you're allowed to get hit before you're not going to make it. The higher up you go, you're almost like you cannot get hit. I think if I got hit one more time, I wouldn't have made it. Alright, let's go. Oh, now we got 2 balls. Whoops. Oh, no. So you see I had to run back and forth to make that jump, right? You can't just, you know, keep running. You almost have to, like, wait. Oh, no. I did it again. Now, you notice that all it's doing is taking some time off. I'm not actually, like, losing a man or anything like that. You only lose the man if you run out of time or the crook gets to the end. Usually you run out of time before that ever happens anyways. And like I was saying, here's where the elevators can come in handy, right? Problem with the elevator, though, is when you take the elevator, well, first of all, it has to be on the floor you're on, so you have to be, like, either wait for it or get lucky. But then the other thing is, the crook will see you coming up the elevator and will turn around and run the other way. Oh, I just got hurt. Okay, let's see if I can do this again. I think you have to do it 2 rounds. Reminds me of another game, Jungle Hunt. There's a level in Jungle Hunt. See, I could go in the... Oh, that was close. And now I'm on this floor. So I just bypassed. But that was lucky that I was able to get into that elevator. But yeah, I was going to say, on Jungle Hunt, the 3rd level, I believe, has those boulders coming down, and they're kind of tricky to maneuver around. So I just saved some time. Oh, I got a free man, too. That's always a good thing. Ow! Look at that. 3 jewelry counters, and the plane is going like nuts. See if I can... Oh, I missed it! I missed it! And this is what's shaving off time as well, you know. That takes time for you to wait for those things to bounce properly. All the while, the crook is getting away. It takes 3 ducks to get underneath an airplane. Oh, I missed it again. These are not easy either. Oops. I shouldn't have jumped. Yeah, and that just shaved off all the time I was not going to make it. So you can see it's getting hard. I mean, you almost have to have the patience to want to wait for things. But then at the same time, if you're too patient, your time is running out, the crook is getting away. You also want to make sure you have a decent joystick, because you don't want any button failures. Because once you get to this stage of the game where everything is going in hyperactive, you definitely don't want to go to push the button and nothing happens. Whoa, I shouldn't have jumped. No, no. See, it's not even giving me a chance anymore, because the moment I lose, I get hit. Whoa. Having a hard time on this level. Perhaps I had it... Oh, no. Perhaps I had it right when I was using the elevator. I don't think I'm going to make it now. Maybe I can get lucky with the elevator on this one. Okay, I'll just wait here. And go in the elevator. Come on. Now he's going to turn around. Which is a pain, because now I have to go backwards. Oh. And, yeah. Another thing is, he never has to use the escalator like you do. He just has to go into the escalator stage, or screen, and he's already at the bottom, which is kind of unfair. It's almost as if he, like, jumps, or slides down. Doesn't actually use the escalator like you're supposed to. This is crazy. Why am I doing this? Okay, get in there. And up. I'm going to wait and see if I can... Uh-oh, see, he already turned around. You can see him down here, the white dot. He turned around. Now he saw it again, so... Whoop. I'm going to... Ah, I touched the counter. Those radioactive jewelry counters that you can't touch or it fries you. I don't know. Wonder what the cop does with all these briefcases and sacks of money. Oh, no, no, no. Oh. Good game, though. 25,800. Not too bad. So, yeah, I mean, that was pretty much the game itself. That's usually about as far as I get. That's a very tricky, like that level I was on was very tricky. It requires patience and timing, and just, that's pretty much it. Patience and timing, and really good use of this controller. I mean, if you have the other controllers, if you want to use your Sega gamepad or whatever, you might be able to get a little bit more accuracy out of it. I'm just more used to this controller on my Atari, so I just it just feels weird playing it any other way. And I have this game, like I like this game so much I even bought the handheld, which, you know, it came out and I was like, this is cool. Let's see if I can find a date on this thing. I can't remember. 1998, Tiger Electronics. Obviously, this was back when a lot of these games were still on the shelf. I mean, this was one of the later ones. And actually, it's not bad. I mean, this was my first experience of being able to play Keystone Kapers without the actual Atari. Of course, today now I have my Flashback portable, and I've loaded the ROM on there so I can actually play Keystone Kapers. It doesn't render the best. I mean, there's some fuzzy part to it. But, I mean, it still works. And, of course, you have to use this joystick, right? So you're kind of stuck with that unless you... I actually just saw today somebody on Facebook showed a picture of them modding this and actually attaching a joystick to it, which is kind of funny. I don't know how you would do that. Like, yeah, I guess you have to prop it up or something. But you know, you're taking away the portability of it now. If you want to use that joystick, anyways. But yeah, I mean, so that's Keystone Kapers, Activision classic. I mean, this is, you know, Activision makes a lot of the best games on the Atari, and I think this is one of my favorite ones. I have too many favorites to just say it's my only, but you know, Hero is a great game too. So, but yeah, that's Keystone Kapers on the Atari 2600. Let me know what you think below if you've played this game. I know there's a version on the 5200. I've never played it before. I don't have a 5200. There might even be on the Atari computer. I think there is, but yeah, let me know what you think about this game. Leave some comments below. Hope you liked this video, and talk to you later.